Hi guys, welcome to a new video on my channel here. Of course we are in for one more day with the trade deadline, and some small trades happen already, and but nothing big. So today we are just going to look at some rumors and some trades which already happened, and therefore we jump on Bleacher Report. Okay guys, so if you're interested, just stay and have a good time. Alright guys, so the first rumors here on Bleacher Report is of course Bruce Brown Jr. from the Toronto Raptors, who just got traded from the Indiana Pacers. And you know, like with the Raptors, it's like every year the same, right? Like you just think, are they going to make a big rebuild? Are they going to try to be a contender? Now with the trades for OG and Siakam, I think the direction is very clear. They got down with their age, with Quickly and Barrett, and for me, like, Bruce Brown is just another one like that. I think he can be traded, right? And I'm pretty sure they're looking for some trades. And so in this article by Aaron Walsh, they say the Raptors discuss trades with the Jazz, Lakers and Knicks. I mean, there's also been, the Lakers and the Knicks seem to be the biggest ones interested in him. The question is just what would they get from like the Jazz? You know, here in the article they say like Kelly Olynyk, like of course maybe a welcome home story. He's Canadian, right? And Ochai Agbaji, who has a lot of talent, especially on the defensive side of the court. Still very young, very strong, and the three is sometimes there but not consistent. So yeah, like just from an age standpoint, if the Raptors could get Ochai, it makes a lot of sense, because I think he's also like 23, 24 years old. But with Olynyk, I think, maybe it's a nice vet to have around. I mean, they just lost Precious Achiuwa in the next trade with OG. Maybe they could need another big man backup. But I think Ocha is the big piece of it, and I mean, it would make a lot of sense, like together with Keontae, Sexton, and Clarkson, to have another experienced player in Brown. But on my side, like I think they should try to just make a real rebuild, you know, like they have Markkanen, like he's definitely a big star in this league and a pure talent, but the timeline is not really there with the young cord. And like for me, the way to go with the Jazz is just to try to become an OKC 2.0, right? Like they just need to acquire draft picks and then just wait some years, and when Keontae George and Sexton and Walter Kessler and Tyler Hendricks and all these players, when they get better, they would have some more talent there. And like Agbaji for me is part of the court. So I wouldn't do this trade, to be honest. I like Agbaji as a Jazz, and I don't know what Brown would give them. Like are they trying to be contenders? Because like Bruce Brown for me is definitely a contender player. Like he should only go to contending teams like the Lakers, Knicks, maybe the Pelicans, somebody like that. So I think this trade does not make a lot of sense. I hope it doesn't happen. I would like the Jazz to see going in for more draft picks. Like I said, I would like them to be the OKC 2.0, and we will see what happens. Alright guys, the next rumor is by Brian Windhurst, also on Bleacher Report, and they think the 76ers are going to make 1, 2, 3 trades at the deadline, and there are some names out there like Andre Drummond, DeMar DeRozan, but it has been really quiet with him. And now he says he's talking about Buddy Hield and Bojan Bogdanovic from the Pistons. I think Andre Drummond makes a lot of sense. He spent one season there already, and I liked him as a 76ers, and they could need another big man backup. But the one I really like is DeMar DeRozan. I think the Sixers are definitely in for like to make a top 3 team in the East. Right now they're not doing so well with Embiid injured, but we will see how that turns out. But you still have Tyrese Maxey, you have all the expiring salaries with Morris and Batum and others. And why not? Why not go for DeMar DeRozan? He's under contract for 1 more year, so there's definitely it's definitely a risk. But if you give up like the Batum and Morris and maybe 1 draft pick, I mean, then that's not a bad deal for at least 1 season. I mean, you have the reigning MVP. I think he would be the runner-up for this year's MVP if he wouldn't have got injured. And with Tyrese Maxey, you have a real star. Like, he's just completely broke up this year, making his first All-Star game well-deserved, and he's definitely the future. But why not compete right now? Like DeMar DeRozan is definitely my favorite. Buddy Hield and Bojan Bogdanovic I also like. With Bojan from my Pistons, I just asked myself, like, what could the 76ers give us back for him? Because, like, for me as a Piston, he's like our maybe top 2, top 3 player, and we definitely want something back from him and not get completely robbed, right? So there are definitely at least 1 first round pick we would like, and maybe a young player like a Jared Springer or somebody like that. But with the Pacers, I mean, Buddy Hield is always in trade talks. You can never know if it's actually happened. I think the Pacers they have the same with Miles Turner. Like, there's always trade rumors out there, but at the end of the day, they stay together. And for me, I'm not very close with the Pacers. I don't watch a lot of games, but when I do so, I just like the young court, like Hield and Halliburton and Mathurin and Smith and Jackson and Nembhard, Naismith, and like Hield and Turner and Siakam, they're nice vets. So I think they have a really nice mixture of age, and I wouldn't break them up. Like, I would try to keep it together, because like if they could improve their defense, they would definitely be a playoff team, right? Maybe even making to the second round or conference finals, the way they are playing. And of course, with Halliburton and Mathurin, you have a really good young court. And yeah, some vets off the bench like Buddy Hield. I mean, that's like the perfect 6-man of the year candidate in my eyes. And yeah, so I would not try to break up the team. I rather would go for DeMar DeRozan, Drummond, and Bogdanovic. And yeah, like those are really solid players, and they could really help them out a lot, because the only goal should be competing, right? Like, there's nothing else. If Embiid is back, like, they have to try to finally win it, right? Like, there are no excuses. Like, what do you want to wait for? Like, there's nothing you can do. Like, you have the best player MVP, you have the most improved player with Maxey, who is an absolute stud. You have some good backups like Paul Reed and others. So yeah, I would try to improve my team. Maybe if I have to give up a first round pick, then that's what you have to do. Alright guys, so for the last rumor of today, it's of course about DeJounte Murray. He's been in a lot of trade talks, and I actually just read some articles yesterday that they said that the Hawks might not even be interested in trading him, and I think there's a fair chance he's not going to be traded. I don't see the Lakers pulling up a trade. And now he's talking about Pelicans, and also that they are interested in Capella and Okongwu, the Pels. And yeah, I mean, they can give back some good young talent, right? They have like Dyson Daniels maybe, Nashi Marshall maybe. But the big one, of course, is CJ McCollum, who is a good player, but he's definitely up there in age. I just asked myself, what would the Hawks want with him? I think the Murray and Young backcourt, unfortunately, it did not work out like we all hoped it would. But like, just on paper, they just make too much sense. Like, you need a good defender next to Trae Young, and I don't see CJ McCollum being that. Like I said, maybe if they can throw in a Dyson Daniels, Jose Alvarado, somebody like who likes to defend, maybe, but I don't know. This sounds really unrealistic, and I don't see the Hawks side on it. And yeah, I mean, the question is, where do the Hawks want to go with this Murray trade? Do they want to go into rebuild, or do they want to be competing, right? If you want to get into rebuild, you definitely could make a trade with the Pelicans. Like I said, they have a lot of young players, talented players. Um, Maybe even a Trey Murphy, somebody like that. But and some draft picks, right? But if they want to compete, I don't see them why CJ McCollum and a young player would make them better. So in my eyes, this trade, and also like Okongwu and Capella, I mean, it's obvious that this center rotation is just too much. Like, it's not working out. You have to either give the rings to Okongwu or Capella, but both together in my eyes don't match. Most of the time Capella is starting when he's fit, and Okongwu coming off the bench. I think that's not enough for Okongwu. Like, he needs to be starting somewhere. And I know there are other teams interested in Capella, like the Mavs or even maybe the Spurs. The Lakers are always interested. There were some rumors about the Houston Rockets. Like, Capella definitely has a trade market. Okongwu, if I would be the Hawks, I would keep and just making him a starter, like addition by subtraction, right? Like they said with John Collins. So yeah, in my eyes, this deal here, it doesn't make sense from the Hawks side of perspective. From the Pelicans, it would be really nice to get DeJounte Murray. Like, that's definitely a very interesting team together with Zion, and especially Bi and Jonas, and maybe if they could keep Trey Murphy, of course. But like, I just think it's kind of unrealistic, and I don't believe it, man. Alright guys, so this is it for today's video, just a short video. Nothing really happened. I'm definitely going to make a video about my Detroit Pistons, because they did actually make 2 trades, not big ones, but it's worth a look. And yeah, so for today's video, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did so, please leave a like or a comment. I love you guys, and have a beautiful day. And so exciting about the trade deadline. I think a lot of stuff is going to go down tonight. And definitely see you back soon. Love you.